Owner-occupied leads. Now, owner-occupied leads can be very tricky. We don't normally recommend them because they have a lot of decisions they need to make. It's much easier to talk to a lead like an absentee owner about selling their second home than it might be to talk to someone about selling the home that they live in. Now, I do still recommend owner-occupieds on the journey of lead gen. I always say lead gen is an experiment. So after you hit the top priorities, absentee, vacants, tax delinquents, I do suggest testing an owner-occupied list. There's still people who want to sell that are owner-occupied. And the biggest perk on owner-occupied is that these people may also want you to find their next home for them. So it could be two deals in one, which is why owner-occupieds are such prime candidates for realtors. Let us list your house and help you find the next one. Well, as a real estate investor, if you're on your game, you can do the same exact thing. Your seller yesterday could be your cash borrow. Your seller yesterday could be your cash buyer tomorrow. And that's what's important about these owner-occupied leads. I would imagine that because they do live in the same house, that it might take more attempts to get as many leads. For example, on an absentee list where we might average 2 to 6 leads per 500 dials, like we do at leadminingpros.com, an owner-occupied list might be 1 to 5 leads per 500 dials. So you might expect to get a little bit less lead flow from an owner-occupied list because of that obstacle that they actually live in the home. It's generally a longer process to sell if they live in the home as well. They have to move out, they have to get their affairs in order, all other kinds of stuff. So you may find a couple obstacles along the way. However, I do still recommend owner-occupieds as one of the 4th stop on our lead generation experiment. I recommend absentees, then vacants, then tax delinquents, then owner-occupied if we're going down that pathway. I always recommend sampling and trying everything to see what works for you in your market. Just because it didn't work for your buddy in Oakland doesn't mean it won't work for you in Cincinnati. So don't let other people's horror stories slow you down when it comes to pursuing any type of lead gen.